Hey folks, Alex here from 9 to 5 to Freedom. Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm on vacation, so I'm having a great day. In this video, I want to talk about how I use dividends in order to pay for my vacation, give an overview of my account, and just see where we're at, what the next plan is. So glad you can join us. I appreciate all the new subscribers, the engagement, everything that's been going on. So let's get started with that. So folks, how do I pay for vacation? Now, I'm not showing you this to flex or anything. I just grabbed my tablet. I figured I'll make some videos while I'm on vacation, talk about how my portfolio is doing. So as you can see, this is today's balance. Let's go into the positions. We'll get into a deep dive of what's going on today. Now, for those who are new folks, let me make myself a little bit smaller here. Invest mostly in funds from YieldMax, Roundhill, and I have one from Neos that I really like. So this is the account, folks, for those who are new here. As you can see, today is a nice, beautiful green day. We got interesting events going on. There's lots of talks about tariffs and scares of tariffs and stuff, but the market's actually on a rally this morning and throughout the day. We'll see how we close. We're a little bit under well, actually we're a little bit over an hour away from market close, so we'll see about that. Apologize for audio. I'm sitting outside. There's lots of noise, people walking around and driving. So okay, so really, what's the concept here? Okay, if you're new to this concept and if you've seen maybe other YouTubers go over this, basically what we're doing is we're taking the money that we have available. So for me, for example, how did I come across this money? Well, my journey started with real estate investing, and then I've actually sold one of my rentals back in March earlier this year. And after testing this concept for a few months, I dumped in the rest of the money from what I had from the proceeds of the rental into this account. And I've tried different ETFs throughout the process. If you watch my weekly videos, I go over that, and then I give an update on how much I'm getting in dividends. There's been a lot of questions about people asking, well, how are you getting 30% dividend, all this kind of stuff. So we get 30%, we get more than 30%. There's funds that we're getting over 100%. This stuff is crazy, folks. So that's what we're trying to explain this stuff away so you can make your own decision and see if this is right for you. So let's give you an example. For example, we have Misty, this one that you see right up top. I have over 2,600 shares in Misty. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so it's a little better for you on mobile. As you can see here, 2,662 shares. Now, this is saying that the value of this holding is up 3.76%. Now, that does not include the dividends that I've received. And if you track my weekly dividends that I've been getting, let me just show you this. Okay, so this is what I use to track my dividends, and take a look here. Let's see here. So Misty right here, as you can see, let me zoom in. So I have 2,662 shares. Now, I really bought most of those shares back in May. As you can see, week 18th is when I started to get a substantial payment. And since May, I've received 3 payments. So Misty pays every single month, and the 2 substantial ones after this dividend was paid out in May. So the last 2 months in June I got $3,916 and $3,297 from Misty. So total in Misty I got $8,573, and that's not counting the account being up another $2,000. So since really I bought into this fund, I've made over $10,000 on it. Now, a lot of this money I did take out. I was able to pay down some of my debts and my bills. So that's really what we're doing with this account. Now, if you take a look here, and I want to talk about this, as you can see here, my account total is showing $163,209. Now, this is how much of my own money is spread among these dividends. Now, the line just above it where it says negative 109,621. This is what I have currently on margin. Now margin is given to you by the broker. They're lending you money, and what we do here is we're using margin to help build this portfolio. So $163,000 my money, $109,000 is money that I'm borrowing, and I'm investing in these same funds. So between the two, the margin and my cash position, I have over $170,000 that I'm investing into these different dividends. Now, a lot of them have been doing really well, as you can see here. Some of the ones I point out, BTCI, that one's up over 12%. That one pays dividends off of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's all-time high today, and that's just been a stellar performer overall. It pays about 28% per month. Really loving BTCI, and that's from Neos. Another one to point out here is NVIDIA. This one's from YieldMax. NVIDIA has been going through the roof, and this one's up over 12% since I bought into it. Now you can see the share amounts, how many I have of each position, and my average price, and all that kind of good stuff. So overall, year to date, we're over 1.62%. Today we're up 1.74%. We're almost up $3,000 just today. So really nice to see that. So how do we live out of this account? What kind of dividends are these paying? Are we actually getting these dividends? So this is what I do on this channel. I document what I'm getting every single week, and I just published a video how much I've truly made in the past 100 days doing this stuff. So if you watched that video, you saw that I made over like $23,000 in the past 3 months, really, with these funds, and that's accounting all the gains and losses that we have among all these funds. So I find that to be a win, and I think it's a great win overall. There's no way I would have been able to make that much money on one single family home rental property. Now if I click here over to the dividend view, and I'm using Fidelity. For those who use different broker, you might have a different screen for that. But if you click on the dividend view, this gives you the projected income that you're going to have from these funds. Now if I move my face over so you can kind of see this a little bit better, but basically this is the number that we're interested in. Okay, so the estimated annual income. Now each fund will have, and maybe I can move this over here that way. Yeah, so I'll make myself in this corner. Okay, so as you can see here, this is what each fund will pay, and the distribution yield is really what they're projecting your income off of, and this is what gets filed by each fund manager on what they're expecting the dividend payout to be. So I had people question, well, how are you getting over 30%? Well, as you can see, a lot of these are over 30%. Now the big question is it sustainable? That means, is the NAV sustainable? Is the net asset value sustainable? So as you're getting these dividends, are they actually recovering? And if they're not recovering, you're basically getting your own money back. And that's really one of the largest issues with a lot of these funds, and it all depends what time you get into it price wise. That's why it's not as passive. You gotta kind of keep an eye on it. You want to make sure that you're in some good funds. So I don't want to make this video too long, folks, but this is what we got going on. Ulti right now is paying over 135%. I'm not sure where it's getting that. Last it was like 79%, but if you tally all this up, this is what it's saying the income would be. That's $205,000 off of $160,000 investment. Now let's take a look, go back to the overview screen here, and yeah, so these are some of the funds that I have. You can look them up, see what their performance are. Last week I got into Ulti. I bought 6,000 shares off of it. It's up 1% since I bought it, which is not a lot, and maybe there's some buying opportunity in it. But yeah, basically what we're doing here is we're utilizing the margin, we are utilizing our money, and we're combining the two. So how does this play out? How do we actually live off this margin? Well, for example, I'm on vacation this week, and what happens is every Friday I get these dividends. So every Friday, let's say I'm going to get this week, let's say it's going to be $3,000 on Friday. This margin amount, this 109, is going to decrease by $3,000 on Friday. This is now, it's going to show like $106,000. So how do you live off of this account? Well, what you do is you can actually just pull right out of the margin. The margin that I have is a very low 6.375%, which I've negotiated. Now I have a video that I've made before how I negotiated my rate down, and everything that I give you guys is for free. I don't charge for any courses or anything like that. Some folks are not having luck negotiating, others are. So it all depends what kind of bargaining chips you have. I've heard that you need to bring at least $100,000 to Fidelity to negotiate it. Now, what's going to happen is, go back to the dividend. I'm going to get that, let's say $3,000 will reduce my margin to 106. So if I need the money, really, I just pull it right out of the margin, and then a week from now I'm going to get another dividend. So really what we're doing is we're capitalizing on a much lower rate and arbitraging the money. So by borrowing this money, I'm allowing the stocks to continue to grow, these ETFs to continue to grow, and make me even more money. So would you rather make, let's say we're only making 30% on these dividends, would you rather make 30% and then borrow 6% that you can live off of? Or would you avoid the debt and not make that 30%? So 30 minus 6 is 24, and that's, you know, a more conservative approach, right? So if I can make 24% on my investment, why not do that? Why not live on the 6 and you know, make the 30? So that's really the logic behind here. So I can do, you know, Fidelity, for example, they give me a credit card. I can use a credit card. They give me a debit card. So if I need the money, it really takes just seconds to transfer the money over to be used. So this is what's really nice about living out of a brokerage account versus you know, having other means of income. Let's say, you know, rentals. Like I have rental properties, but the money's not liquid. It takes, you either got to sell the property, which takes a long time, or you gotta get a loan against it. Now, to get a loan against it requires a bunch of paperwork. You got to make sure all your ducks in a row. The bank will give you the money, and then the percentages are very, very high these days. So I'm really loving this strategy, and that's really, this vacation was paid for my dividends. So right now, like I'm literally making more money on this dividend account than I do at my day job. So the plan here is to continue to keep this going until my personal debt is paid off, and then we can start rolling this up so this account could actually grow and we can see some progress as we're making more income. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys liked this video. If you have any questions, please leave some comments below. And yeah, so it's been a really nice day. I'm really happy to see that. We'll see how this closes, and we'll see you on the next video, folks. Take care.